Okay, we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I guess that was the thing that happened, wasn't it? How do we quantify that? How do we talk about this in terms of actual any kind of proper analysis or any kind of proper thoughts or I don't even know. Like I really don't. Like I can't just really describe what I've seen today. I think it comes in the same vein and the same manner and the same likelihood that we did with the last match in the FA Cup against Liverpool. I don't think you can really quantify. I don't think you can really talk about that there as a, a tactical battle or a noise or anything. I think what you seen today was just two teams going for a and thankfully United managed to come out on top. Now look, I'm not going to cut around the bush and I'm not going to cut around and say that today was an absolutely fantastic performance, because it wasn't. We didn't have a shot in the entire first half. We find ourselves then by the 60th minute being 2-1 up after having two shots, and then we give away a sloppy penalty and we end up drawing the match. Now in today's in this week alone, we dropped points from a winning position against Brentford last week. We've dropped points against Chelsea. We lost that match from a winning position going into stoppage time. And then the last 10 minutes today, we also dropped points as well from a winning position. And that's why we're not going to go into... that's why we're not going to be going into the top five. That's why we're not going to be finishing in a Champions League place next season. But I guess I'll take it from the start, really. Look, that first half was absolutely shocking, and I described it as a confused mess at halftime. It was kind of hard to know really what we were doing, and it's not the first time. And look, I don't want to be negative, because we had no right, based upon that first half performance, to get anything out of that match. I mean, we scored two of the absolute goals of the season. First one, it was a sloppy mistake by Kwanzaa, but make no mistake about it, hit it first time from about 50-60 yards out into the back of the net. Pretty incredible there from Bruno Fernandes. The second goal by Mainoo, absolutely fantastic. A nice bit of work between him, Garnacho, Wan-Bissaka. He cuts it back onto the right foot. It was Federico Macheda-esque. He's clearly been watching his tapes, because that was absolutely fantastic. And from there, we actually looked fairly comfortable until Liverpool grew back into it. And it was ultimately a pretty sloppy penalty to give away by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now, there wasn't a lot of contact, but there was enough for Elliott to go down. He should have been doing better in that position, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But key is we managed to get a point out of this today. I guess from the annals and where we look at this in terms of the Premier League season, it might be more valuable, it might be more impactful for the season of Liverpool than it is for United. But it's good, because we played Liverpool 3 times this season. We've drew twice and we beat them once. You know, that's something we can hold on to this season. We'll always have that FA Cup match 4-3. But as Abubakar has said, we lost 7 points now from winning positions in 3 consecutive league matches. And yes, that's what it's going to come down to. So we enjoy the moment. We enjoy the jubilation of getting those incredible goals, taking the lead against the run of play, and maybe putting a spanner in the works of Liverpool's title charge. But at the same time, I guess when we come back to the cold hard facts and come down off the jubilation and the excitement, we start to look at it from the point of view, we've dropped 7 points this week. Those 7 points could have put us into a top 5, top 4 spot for next season. And ultimately, there will be a reason why we don't finish in those positions. Stephen says Maguire getting 25% on the poll is baffling. I mean, everyone's got their own opinions. We've only had 10 votes on it, to be fair. I think that must have just been literally one of the first votes that went in. Anyway, look, man of the match choices. I think it's pretty clear the man of the match. I think Dallo was good. I think Mainoo was good. I think Maguire was solid, but I'm going to give it to Willie Campbell. Stephen, great to see. Jim was there to see we're miles and miles away from them. Elliott and Jones could walk into our starting 11. And at Liverpool, they're only subs. Ten Hag out, Nagelsmann in. I think conversations will be had. They absolutely will be had. We did not really have any kind of cohesive plan out there. We didn't really have any kind of idea. A lot of it was passion. A lot of it was the chaos of that. And I guess the reason why we managed to beat Liverpool in the FA Cup, and the reason why we managed to get a draw today, is because Liverpool can get sucked into that. There's an old saying: if you're arguing with someone who's don't argue with someone who's more stupid than you, because they'll drag you down to their level and beat you with their experience. And that's kind of what we did, because we made Liverpool play chaotic, and they squandered opportunities today. You know, they made mistakes that sometimes they don't make because they got sucked into the occasion of it, and certainly that would have impacted on it. From United's point of view, I think it's the only way we could have went out today and played, because we weren't going to change anything for this match. As such, it was always going to be chaos. It was always going to be crazy, and I guess we attacked and approached that match the way we needed to. Because I think if we would have sat back and tried to defend like we did towards the end, we probably would have conceded a goal. It's what happened once we did try to sit back. You know, maybe we can question the manager's decisions there to take Garnacho off and put Bruno on the left wing. You know, we lost a lot of speed at that point. We didn't really have the counter attack. Yes, we had Anthony and Højlund, but they were kind of being marked out of it by Robertson and Van Dijk. So we could have maybe done with another outlet. Maybe Ahmad on the bench, or Forsen could have been an option. But I'm very happy with the result of that based upon our performance. I don't think we can be too annoyed about that. It's kind of one of those matches. I said it on the stream. I said it at the beginning of this one as well. You can't really analyze that. You can't really dig deep into that to look for systems or look for tactical nous or superiority. It's one of those matches that I guess you just can't look at in those point of views. Hey guys, drop a like on the video if you can. I think we're up to 9 likes. Let's see if we can get up to 10. But yeah, look, it's just one of those ones. Most of you guys are agreeing with the Kambwala shout to be the man of the match. That's fair enough. I think Kambwala is probably my man of the match. You know, he did very well in a chaotic game. Yes, he wasn't flawless. Yes, he made a few mistakes on the ball, but defensively, some big tackles shouldn't have been booked. He definitely won the ball in that tackle. I think it was with Luis Diaz. So yeah, it's an interesting one. It is. It's definitely an interesting one. I think Stephen's right there. You know, the manager, the style of football we've had today and all season, it is just chaos, and there's no other real way for us to describe it other than absolute chaos. I don't know. It's so hard to sit here and actually talk about it. It's so hard to actually think about, you know, what we witnessed and compare it. We got some quotes coming out from Jurgen Klopp. I imagine there's Ten Hag quotes out there as well. What have we got? 15 votes in that poll as well. Pretty split between Mainoo and Kambwala. I think they were probably the two best. I think Dallo was very solid as well, to be fair. Yeah, Jurgen Klopp said we should have won the game. They had no shots at all, made mistakes. Great goal from Bruno and another great goal from Mainoo as well. Cobby Mainoo says it's an unbelievable feeling walking away at Old Trafford after scoring against Liverpool, but at the end of the day we don't walk away with 3 points, so we can't walk away too happy. I would agree with that as well. I think we maybe could have won that match. I don't think Liverpool were great today. I really don't. I think we were really bad in that first half, and I think that they managed to get a goal, probably deserved. In all fairness, it was a sloppy goal to give away. It was. But yeah, it's kind of just one of those guys. I really don't know how we can contextualize it too much. Get your thoughts in down below though. What are we thinking? What are we feeling? Connor's on there. Never a penalty blood dive before Wan-Bissaka hit him. You know, I've seen a couple of replays on that as well, Connor. You know, there was no contact initially with Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka was on the ground. It seems to be contact was initiated by Harvey Elliott. You could argue it's another dodgy penalty given against us this week, because I don't think the Dallo one on Cole Palmer was one either. But yeah, look, I obviously hadn't seen the replay at the time. It looks to be, look, I'm watching the replay. Neither really touched the ball, and Harvey Elliott was kind of going to ground. He felt the contact from Wan-Bissaka. It's one of those. it's one of those matches, and it's one of those decisions that you will see. Players will initiate the contact and go down, because if there is contact there, it will be given. Guys, drop a like on the video if you can. We're up to 9 likes as well. Would be massively appreciated if we can get up maybe to 20 or so. Would really help out the channel. And big ups to all the new subs as well. I think there's like 5 or 6 people have subbed to us today across the different streams that we have done. Bart is down there. Hello, missed it. Pardon me. Connor said I saw no contact. Elliot dived before he hit him. I'm watching the replay. It looks like Elliot was going down and felt the contact. It's one of those. If Marcus Rashford did that for us, we would want a penalty, and it was there. That was there, but I don't know. It's not great. You could argue either way. I'm not the most happy about it. Bart said Nagelsmann is good, but it isn't his fault entirely, just like the games versus Galatasaray, Copenhagen, Sevilla, Brentford. Yeah, look, United's a chaotic team, man, and we get drawn into that there. We really do. Kobe Mainoo's just some quick stats. He's won 8 out of 9 tackles today. Casemiro won 41% of his. I'm not sure what that is in terms of a national number either. I think Casemiro was pretty poor, all things considered. Today, I think he looked a little bit off the pace. He made some important tackles, but there was moments where his clearances weren't really on point. There was moments when his decision making on the ball, when maybe we needed some composure in the middle of the pitch, we just didn't seem to have it at times. But that's not exclusive to today's match. That's exclusive across the board. It's happened so many times this season. We have. We've had a lack of control in the middle of the pitch, and I think we can only assume at this point it's kind of what the manager wants. I think that's what we have to go off. Obviously, look, another story today that we perhaps could talk about is Marcus Rashford didn't look overly involved in the play. I thought at the time, that he looked quiet. I guess him going down, injured and going off, that was probably why he was feeling and looking a bit slow on it. So I'm not surprised about that. It's frustration. It's another injury that we could do without. Obviously, we have Anthony playing quite well at the minute. We got Garnacho still playing well. So I think we're kind of covered in the forward areas. It was good to see Mount get on again. Hopefully he's now ready to start matches. I'm not too sure who the next match is. It might be Newcastle United guys as well. Bart says 41% is like 2 out of 5, 4 out of 10. What was the number? Let me see, Bart. If we're talking duels, 5 out of 11 if you count ground and aerial duels. I'm not too sure what that is as a percentage. Yeah, it'll be under 50% anyway. Anyway, guys, big ups and those likes. Any thoughts? Make sure to drop them in down below. Keep voting on today's Man of the Match poll. At the minute, Mainoo's getting Man of the Match. Now, I thought Kobe was good. I still think he made a few mistakes out there. Probably guilty for losing Luis Diaz for the opening goal from Liverpool. I think that's probably as much of an impact of and an influence of our set-piece routine and defending off those set-piece positions as it is Mainoo losing the man. There did look to be confusion out there. It was highlighted by Neville and Carragher on the commentary. They said players don't look to know who they're picking up. Everybody wants to go with Van Dijk. Nobody's looking at Nunez or Salah or Luis Diaz, ultimately, who got the first goal for Liverpool. So definitely one to be watching out for. I think that's something we need to improve upon. It's frustrating that we had a set-piece coach at the club and we took that out of his job remit and we stopped working on set pieces or something, because we can't score from set pieces at one end and we can't stop conceding at the other end. So that's frustration as always, guys. But it's Manchester United at this point. We can't even be too surprised on that one. Guys, drop a like on today's video if you can. Have your say as well. Get your thoughts into the comments about that very interesting match we've seen today. I think that's what we'll go. We'll call it a very interesting match, because that's what it was. It was a very, very interesting match that was difficult to explain, difficult to contextualize, difficult to look at, and ultimately, I guess we go out of today's match unbeaten against Liverpool this season, and that has to be a plus. Even if it's just throwing a spanner in the works of Liverpool's title campaign, even if it's just a thing of pride. I don't know. It wasn't great today. performance level, it wasn't fantastic. I'm not going to kid myself, but certainly for me, I think could and should have had a much better match out there, and arguably we could have went on to win that match. I think that's the biggest frustration. One of the earlier comments pointed it out. We dropped 7 points this week alone from winning positions within the last 15-20 minutes of matches, and that's got to hurt, because 7 points at this point of the season, at this stage, would have absolutely transformed where we were going as a club in terms of trying to finish at the top of the league. There's no doubts about that in my mind. We could be right up there for a top 4 spot if that was the case. But this week was a poor week in terms of our results, and in terms of picking up points. And it's hard to say it like that, because we had no right getting a point today. But those 7 points would put us 1 behind Tottenham Hotspur. It would put us 3 off Aston Villa with a match in hand. That was the opportunity. This week could have been the opportunity, and it does feel like we've blown that. I don't think we finished top 4 now. I don't think we're Champions League next season, but it is what it is. Nothing really we can do about it at this point. We just got to take it match after match. Thankfully, we still have the FA Cup as something to look forward to. I wonder actually what the next match is for United. It's away to Bournemouth. So the next match, guys, we play Bournemouth. That is on Saturday at 5:30. That's going to be an interesting match for sure. Bournemouth put 3 passes at Old Trafford, beat us fairly comfortably on the day. And then after that, we have Coventry, FA Cup semi-final time. It might just be a day out at the end of the season. It might be an interesting FA Cup final if we do make it there, if it's United against City, if it's United against Chelsea. Who knows? It might be Coventry City. Maybe Coventry win the FA Cup. Anything's possible with this United team at this moment in time. Anyway, guys, drop a like on the video. We're up to 10. Let's see if we can get up to 20 likes. We've got 25 people in the stream. Drop a like if you can. Hit the sub button if you have another second as well. It really helps the channel out. And on our poll, 48% are going Kobbie Mainoo man of the match. We have 7% for Dallo, 4% for Maguire, and Kambuala on 41%. It's very split between Kobbie and Kambuala. I wonder if I just put those 2 as the options, who'll be winning that there one. I'm not too sure, though. I think both were very good. In today's match. And fair play to Willie Kambuala, because there was times today where he looked like he was overexposed slightly. There was times today where he was left against Darwin Núñez and Mo Salah. He dealt with it very well. I think he had a very solid match, Willie Kambuala, and I'll be happy for him to be starting next week against Bournemouth. Absolutely. Think he had a good match today, and it's one of those ones, guys. Like, I think, it's so hard to contextualize. It's so hard to look at, because first half we didn't even have a shot. We didn't have a shot. So how do we judge Højlund's performance? How do we judge Garnacho's performance, Rashford's performance? We didn't get a shot. We really didn't get moving up there. Højlund had 20 touches in today's match. Very isolated for him. Rashford, again, didn't get a shot off at all match. Only touched the ball 23 times. Most of the ball and most of the game was played outside of our forwards. Very quiet there for them at the office. Very little service. Very little going forward. But 2 minutes, and within those 2 minutes, the game flipped on its head, really. We had the Bruno equaliser. And then a few minutes later, we had Kobbie Mainoo with one hell of a goal. But is it Moments FC? I don't know. Maybe it is. Kobbie Mainoo's been talking about the Champions League qualification as well. Something that we are still playing for. There's a lot of important games coming up. We have to try our hardest as a group. It's an unbelievable feeling to score my first goal at Old Trafford and to do it against Liverpool, even more special. But we didn't get the 3 points, and that is still the main thing. Kobbie keeping his head on his shoulders. Again, penalties have cost us. We have to keep working on that, ironing out the details. It's costing us, and we have to keep trying to get better. I mean, I'm agreeing with Mainoo saying he's speaking well, obviously, in some kind of post-match interview as well. Interesting to see what Ten Hag will have made of that. I'm not too sure what we can really say about it. It was just complete and utter chaos at times out there. I don't know. I'm not too sure where the title's going to go. One thing is for sure, the happiest supporters of all are probably Arsenal fans right now, because Liverpool's advantage is gone. There is no advantage now. It's Arsenal on top on goal difference with 7 matches. It's very much in Arsenal's hand now. If Arsenal win the next 7 matches, which is a big ask, then they're guaranteed the league title. That's it. That's it. City are still up there as well. They're a point behind, so it's a very interesting title race. We are far out of it. I think we're up to 49 points now, though, so we're well safe from relegation for anyone who is concerned about that. Some of the more pessimistic people out there in the fan base, and on these videos definitely can be out there as well, thinking the same thing. Anyway, guys, make sure to drop your thoughts into the comments. We have 11 likes on the stream as well, and big ups to the 6 new subscribers. Thanks so much for joining in as well. Just waiting to see what Eric Ten Hag has made of today's match, if he's got any thoughts at all. Pretty quiet in his press conferences recently anyway. Can see Chelsea are beating Sheffield United as things stand, but it's been an interesting one to keep an eye out on. Chelsea, of course, dropping points last week to Burnley. Anything is possible. Anything is possible out there. Anyway, the matches that we got coming up, guys, we're maybe over the worst of it for the rest of the season. I think we play Bournemouth, we play Newcastle, Sheffield United, Burnley, Crystal Palace, and then we finish up with a double-header against Arsenal at Old Trafford, and then away to Brighton on the last day of the season. So I guess what we've got to do, if you're looking any kind of high finish in the league, you've got to beat Bournemouth, you've got to beat Newcastle, have to beat Sheffield, Burnley, Crystal Palace, and then you see where we are in terms of the end of the season with Arsenal and Brighton. But I don't know. I think it's too little, too late. I don't think we're going to finish top 4. I don't think we're going to finish top 5. It might just be Europa League and an FA Cup. It might be worse than that. It might be better than that. I don't know. I really don't know. Any more thoughts, guys? Ensure to drop them into the comments. Manu is far ahead in the man of the match poll as well, 52%. Kambuala's on 38, Maguire 3, and Dallo was 7. So that's your guys' thoughts so far. Still waiting for Ten Hag to come out with some quotes after the match. I'm sure he's been talking to the press. I'm sure he's been interviewed at some point. But it's an interesting one. It is an interesting one. For sure. There's definitely some good moments out there. Definitely some big moments out there. Is it a case of moments FC? It might be. It genuinely might be at this point. But I can't complain. I can't complain. Crazy game today. I thought at half time it was going to be dead and buried and it was going to get ugly in the second half, but it didn't quite. And ultimately we got through it. We got through it. Gary Neville says, "I don't buy into the idea that United have been decimated by injuries." It's an interesting post-match quote. I'll have a check to see. Maybe I've just missed out on some of the comments. Bart said, "Would I have taken a draw at the start of the game?" Yeah, I would have. And I definitely would have took a draw at half time. And I can't complain too much about it. Mark Goldbridge has turned on Casemiro. It's an interesting one. I didn't think that would actually come. He says you can't pay £300,000 a week for that, and that the decline cannot be ignored anymore. I've been saying it for a while. I have been saying that for a while. I didn't think Goldbridge would actually come out with it, to be fair, but I think Casemiro today was poor. I think Prime and N'Golo Kante would struggle in that role that he's in. I think he would lack the legs to get up and down and fulfill the demands that Casemiro and our holding midfielders do. But I think just in terms of the overall play and the style of play, I don't know. You know, I just think Casemiro might be done at United. I really do. I can't see him being here next year. I think the club will take a look at it. You know, that has been £300,000 per week. It's a lot of money. They have to keep on paying him, and they have to keep on paying off that transfer. If you guys think Casemiro can turn it around, let me know down below. Let me know why as well. I mean, I'm sure if I go back, I know for a fact I did videos last season saying Casemiro was the signing of the summer last year for us, and the signing of the season last year. He probably was. And even going into this season, I don't think I expected such a drop-off in terms of his quality. I think it's very much a case that we were playing to the strengths that he had last season. There was a physical decline, yes, but this year, when he's been in a more physically active role in terms of distance needing to be covered, then I think it's really caught it out. Bart said if Arsenal wins the league before the clash, you have to give them a guard of honour. I don't know what the rules are about it. I feel like it's a customary thing. I don't know though. Hopefully not. Anyway, Ten Hag said in the first half, we were bullied, hammered, and overwhelmed at times. I mean, yeah, that's not much. That doesn't say too much. And I mean, truthfully, outside of a couple of fantastic moments from Mainoo and Bruno, it wasn't a good performance from us. Bart said, "Would I go to Dublin if Liverpool make the Europa League final?" I haven't really thought about it too much. I mean, I wouldn't go buying tickets. I don't know. I feel like if Liverpool don't make it, then you could have not a lack of interest, but maybe just from locals. Some I don't know. I don't know. Possibly. Well, I'll maybe say like it could be an interesting one. For sure. There'll be interesting things coming up anyway. I know one of them is going to be the next European Championships. There will be matches in Dublin and in Belfast. That's exciting. That's very exciting. So I'll definitely be at them, and I'll definitely try to do some coverage and stuff for that. I know I'm going to be doing coverage for the next Euros in the summer as well. Bart said half of Ireland will be there in Dublin. There will be. But that's a population thing. What I mean to say is what you mightn't get. You mightn't have a lot of local interest in it and people clamoring and jumping for tickets if the Europa League final is Bayer Leverkusen versus Benfica. That's my argument there. There was a point, and I know this for a fact, where the Irish police, the guards, were very worried about the very real prospect of Liverpool versus Rangers being the match, which would throw up quite an interesting side of things anyway. But yeah, I mean, look, anything could happen in the Europa League. It's hard to know. I guess like it'll be one of them. Like I think Liverpool probably make the final. To be fair, I think there's a good chance it might be Liverpool versus Leverkusen. Looking at the team still in it, but Milan will be there. Benfica as well. Who knows? Maybe even West Ham could shock the world and beat Bayer Leverkusen. Anything can happen. Bart is on there. Half our United supporters hiding in the closet. The stadium is in a ground that can only handle 50,000. Yeah, that's also true. The Aviva can only handle 50,000. I think there was some kind of what they probably could have done, maybe, and they're regretting it. But I think it's just because it has to go through the IFA. Is that they could have had it in Croke Park. Now, Croke Park mightn't be known to everybody. If you're Irish, you'll absolutely know what Croke Park is. It is about it's the national stadium of the GAA. That's where all the GAA games were had. There was Ireland matches held there before. Ireland rugby's been held there before when the Aviva was being rebuilt from the old Lansdowne Road. But Croke Park's got a capacity of 82,000 people. Obviously, much bigger ground. But there's always cultural things going on as to why football doesn't take place there. It's one of those, and it's hard to really contextualize and know why, unless you are kind of local or like really knowledgeable about it. But it is what it is. Look, guys, I think I'm gonna leave the stream here though. I think we've said all that we have to say for today. I guess if I just have to sum it up, it's just been a crazy day. It's been a crazy match and a crazy season, and it's one of those. I don't know how you contextualize it. I don't know how you really analyze it or dig too deep into it. I think you just have to enjoy it at times, because I feel like you'll just lose your mind trying to make sense of it all. And I think that's kind of the position that I find myself in at the minute. Is I'm just looking at it from that point of view. That is very difficult to contextualize. It's very difficult to analyze, and it's very different and difficult to dig down into and say, why is this happening? Where's the structure here? Where's the pressing? Where's the rest defense? Where's the minimum width and stuff? I don't think you can use that. I just don't think you can use that in matches like this and with this United team at the minute. It's an interesting one. I'm gonna have a nice evening. Big ups to Bart as well. I will enjoy the spring. I'm gonna go get some food. I'm absolutely starving here anyway. So guys, thanks so much for joining me. It's been a pretty mega day anyway. I think that's about 3 hours, like just back-to-back coverage and talking about this match. So I'm well done. I'm done at this point, guys. Thanks so much for joining in, and I'll catch everyone in the next one.